All right. Hello, everybody. We'll give it a minute to let everybody come on in. Hope everybody's having a wonderful week, getting ready for the holiday weekend. Super excited about 4th of July. If you don't know me, my name is Bella. I am the VP here at CEO Chicks and super excited to be chatting with Colleen Otero. She is our CEO and founder. So she can be found at Colleen Otero CEO, and I'll let her in a minute. But if you are a woman in business and you're looking to scale, you're looking to grow, definitely be sure to pop in with us, come in and work with us. We would love to chat with you and help scale your business. So with that being said, let me let Colleen in. This is good. There we go.
Hey,
Hello. How are
I'm
you?
excellent. How are you?
I am good. Gearing up for the holiday. I think everybody's excited for a little long weekend. So,
Yes, yes, seriously. And I'm doing what do we have tomorrow? I'm like, we normally go live on
Mm,
Fridays with our community, and so
yeah,
I'm like, oh, tomorrow's prayer, and it's July 4th, and I'm like, should I do it? Should I? No, I'm gonna do it.
definitely still do
Like
it.
we just keep it moving over here, don't we?
Exactly. 100%. Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yes, I'm excited to be on here with
Awesome.
you. I feel like it's
Yes,
been a little
me
minute.
too. Absolutely. Yeah, me as well. I wanted to start off by just doing like a quick introduction, if you wouldn't mind telling everybody the story behind CEO Chicks, like how you got started and how you brought this incredible vision to life.
Sure, that's a great question. I started CEO Chicks.
Okay, I think we're good now. I think you cut out there for a second.
Really? That's so
Yeah.
weird.
I don't know if it was me or you, but you froze for me, so.
Okay, well, I'm back. Okay, so CEO Chicks got started back in like 2016 officially. But really, it got started. I was in the beauty industry, doing hair, doing makeup, traveling, doing all the things. And women would constantly ask me questions about business and branding and how do you do this? And I started having these little lunch meetups, right? Like just meeting with them, talking about it. I was doing these monthly calls. It wasn't branded CEO Chicks at the time. I was doing these monthly calls with ladies, and we were just diving in on all the how tos, right? And I was at an event where I was speaking. And at this event, I purchased a t shirt that said Mrs. CEO, Mrs. MRS CEO.
Mhm.
And I remember telling my assistant, Sade, at the time, I was like, I really wish it said CEO Chick. Like that it did not have any ties or affiliation to whether I was single, married, like any of those things. And she
Mhm.
said, you should do it. And I'm like, you know what, girl, you're right. I
Say
should.
less.
So long story short, got the t-shirt, got it, designed, and then it sold out. Then did it again, it sold out again. People were like, "What is it?" I'm like, "It's a t-shirt." Right?
Yeah.
Get the shirt.
Right, right.
Well, no, it wasn't just a t-shirt. It was because they knew it was something more. They were
Mhm.
already tying in with this shirt that said CEO Chick and the activities, the luncheons, the monthly calls, even though they had different names. They were all like, "Look, this is what you are. This is who you are. This is what it's about." And I remember a young lady, she's a local, I'm in Orlando, for those of you that don't know. She is frequently on the news channel. She's a life coach, a business coach, like speaker, all the things. And she reached out to me and was like, "You better trademark this. You better run with this. You better," you know what I mean? So it's just
Yeah.
so important that we have the right people in our ear and the right
Right.
people in our circles. And long story short, Bella, rebranded everything, CEO Chicks, filed it officially, trademarked all of that in 2016. But I have been just serving women. You can imagine, right? Being a hairstylist, like that's what you're around all the time. I don't know how many of you guys are on here. Your hairstylist is like your confidant, right?
Right,
Your
yeah, like
she
a
knows
sit-in therapist.
your therapist. It's your moment. You could turn off your cell phone. Like I
Mhm.
knew all the tea about folks, family, marriages. Like it just was very, very common.
Yeah.
And so super exciting though, to be here going on 9 years, next month,
Amazing.
going on 9 years. And so, yeah, that is it. That's really,
I
really
love
how we
it.
got started
I love
and just
it.
remained really faithful to what it is, the actual call and
Absolutely.
the call and the assignment, as they say.
100%. And I love what you said that it's so your community and the people that are around you really make or break those kinds of things happening too. And they really make an impact on the capabilities that you're able to scale in those certain senses. So I love that you said that. And that's so awesome. I know you spoke about branding, like the branding of CEO Chicks and everything. Obviously, that is like one of your biggest fortes. So, what would you say is your strongest piece of advice for someone either starting a new brand or someone that's looking to pivot into a rebranding?
All right, so the new brand, it is really important for you to kind of like hone in on what you're passionate about, yes, but also what people are asking you for. Like really pay attention to that. That's what I call your sweet spot. Because oftentimes I see people that are just so like focused on what they love,
Mhm.
but do people love what you love,
Right.
right? Are they willing to pay you, right? Are they willing to pay you
Hmm.
for it? And so it's the difference between a hobby and a business, right? And so
Absolutely.
it's just really being able to hone in on what your passions are, how you serve, the solutions you bring to the table, and not just so much focused on the transaction, right? And meaning you're not just focused on, let's say, for example, you love to sell shoes. So you're not just so focused on selling the shoe, right?
Hmm.
You have to elevate the thought pattern and think about the brand holistically. What are you really providing for women or men when it comes to the shoes? It's comfort, it's style. You know what I mean? It is
Absolutely.
yeah, it's a few things, right?
Right.
Depending on the shoe that you're selling. And so you want to think about the overall experience. So whether it's a new brand, to answer your question, or whether you're pivoting and you're doing a rebrand, it's still the same. Those are the principles that you really want to adhere to. You want to know, like, what is going to be the essence or spirit behind what I'm doing and what is going to be the experience, and get the feedback. Get feedback,
100%.
like try things. I think oftentimes visionaries are afraid to like try things.
Mhm.
Like they want it to be perfect from the beginning. And that is
Not
like
gonna
one of
happen.
the, yeah, that's one of the biggest like errors that I see, like where they're kind of like so afraid and fearful
Mhm.
to just really give things a try. Like do a campaign that's different and has a different feel and different colors and different language. See how it lands with your audience. It's okay to do that. And if it didn't work, you archive it.
Right.
Like a lot of small
Exactly.
business, yeah, a lot of us small business owners don't have the millions of budgets for research and
Right.
development and to put a whole bunch of people in a room and ask them for their feedback and survey them and give them a little check for their time. Like we don't have that liberty. So
100%.
you just have to work with what you have and enjoy it.
Absolutely. No, I love what you said about remembering like why you're, for the shoe example, why you're selling those shoes. What's the purpose? Because
Mhm.
for those of you that don't know, I am the co-founder and co-owner of Jexy Agency, and we're a talent agency. And I tell that to my talent all the time. I'm like, no matter how big you get, no matter how many amazing brand deals you acquire, you have to always remember your why and why you're doing this, what value you're bringing to your community, because that's what's going to make a business into a great business is by
Yes.
having that connection with the people that are coming to you for whether it's purchasing a product, a service, whatever it is that you have to offer. So I love that you said that. I love it so much. Um, what would you say is the most important aspect of being a CEO chick?
Most important aspect of being a CEO chick, I think, is there's many, but I would just say the first thing is about being aligned to purpose. Like, I think that is it at the end of the day, like having peace that you are doing what you are called to do. I'm a mom. I have 4 kids. My family is behind me and the
Love
whole,
it.
yeah, my whole crew. So I have 4 boys and a stepdaughter, and I'm in my mid 40s. And so at this stage of the game, at this big old age, as they say, um, the biggest thing for me is just finding joy in what I do. And so my children are like, I want to get paid to do what I love. And there's times I have to have that conversation with them about how difficult it really is and how
Yes.
fortunate you really are to be able to get paid for your passion. It doesn't happen all the time. There are times that you somewhat compromise to a degree, but I let them know, like, as your mom, I'm doing my best financially so you can explore those things,
Yeah.
but don't ever take that for granted because that's not normal. You know, that's
Right.
not just normal. And so I think being able to really, really find purpose in business is such a privilege because some people really are out here dominating and doing all the things and they're not happy.
Hmm.
They have the accolades, they have, the recognition, and they're on the cover of this and that. And it's very interesting to me how many of them are just not happy. And so to be able to be doing something in purpose, in passion, and being able to profit off of it, wow. Wow.
Yeah,
Like,
such a
what a
blessing.
that like hands down, hands down, because
Seriously.
that's not always how it is for a lot of people.
Not at all. And I mean, so many people go through that. I know even for myself, I went through those pains of not loving the jobs that I was in before we started Jexy.
Yeah.
But then once you get to that point, you realize how grateful you are, and you're just so blessed to wake up every day and excited to work. Obviously, there's going to be rough
Yeah.
days. We all have them. But,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, if you can look back and say, this is all worth it and I
Mhm.
love it and you're passionate about it, that's going to make or break everything.
It
So,
it is. It is. It's a journey. It really is a
100%.
journey. And I think this generation really only wants to do what they find purpose in
Yeah, of
and what they love. And I get it. I get it. I get
course. Yeah, 100%. With that being said, how do you manage consistency within your business?
consistency. It is not about feeling. It is not about emotions. It's
Mm-mm.
all about developing discipline and knowing yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you have to know what gets you off your game. You have to know what gets you on your game. Like, you have to
Mhm.
know what people bring you energy and make you want to show up and make you want to perform and be the best version of yourself. And you have to know who sucks you dry, drives you
Preach.
crazy, and makes you nauseous. Like, your
Yeah.
body even tells you, we don't like this person.
Mhm.
um we need to put up some boundaries here. And so
Yeah.
I really would say it all comes down to emotional intelligence. Like, EQ has a lot to do with being able to be successful. um I blame social media a bit for making entrepreneurship maybe look a little bit more attractive, sexy, and it being
Definitely
like
glamorizes it a little
it's a movie.
bit.
Yeah, yeah, like it's some sort of movie, and just
It
a constant
certainly
highlight
is
reel.
not. So,
It's not. It's not. It's constant problem solving. It's mundane. It's being able to do the same thing over and over and over again. It's finding a process that works and sticking to it and then delegating that to other people that can maintain it at least 80% of the way,
yeah,
right? Right.
right,
Um,
100%.
and that is entrepreneurship. It is not pretty. You're not always on a beach working, and if you are on the beach working, why are you on the beach working? You should be on the beach relaxing, right?
Facts.
Right. Or
Yeah.
not. Or not. Some people, depends. Some people really submit to hustle culture. Like, that's it. They're gonna sleep when they die, but I do not. But I think consistency is key.
100%.
And it's about discipline and emotional intelligence. So get your team together. That may look like
Absolutely.
having a coach. That may look like having regular podcasts that you listen to,
Mm.
regular therapy sessions. You have to figure out you. You got
Yeah.
to decode yourself and put a system in place that helps you flow. And that's it.
Mic drop. I love it. And that is seriously one of the biggest things that I have learned since we started Jexy is
Mhm.
I've learned more about myself doing this than doing anything else in my life because
Mhm.
you have to really come over those hurdles like, okay, when am I starting to experience a little burnout? When do I need to take a break and unplug? What do I need to do every day to not let me get to that point? And all those certain things. So I love that you said that. How do you handle failure or setbacks as a leader?
Number one, I expect it. I think that's how.
Yeah.
Um, I I am not, and you guys know I'm really unapologetic about my faith. I'm really very forward with my faith, and as a Christian, as a woman, as a woman of color, as a mom, as a wife, at all the things, life happens to us
Yeah.
all. And the thought of me, everything that I do, like that there won't be setbacks or there won't be something that lessons that I'm gonna have to learn is like delusional,
Right.
right? And so I don't look at life. I remember hearing how in the Asian culture or Japanese culture, there's no word for failure or challenge or something like that. Like it's always looked at as an opportunity.
Hmm.
And that's very true. Like I expect the challenges, I expect to learn, I expect to remain a student at life. And so I just want to make sure that like I'm not a failure. It failed. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah.
Like
I love
it
that mindset.
failed. So
Yeah.
let's look at it. Let's look at it again. Let's look at what works and let's go from there. There was another thing that I learned because I have multiple businesses. I have CEO Chicks, which we're on this platform right now, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, but it wasn't always that way. And then I had my beauty business, which transitioned into branding in 2018, right? And now I'm in a joint venture with another company where we're focusing on technology called One Solution Hub, right? And so in that space, on all of these spaces, it's just gotten better. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
my experience, because of the things that I've learned, the failures, setbacks, if you will, they're all lessons.
Yeah.
It has taught me so much, and so I'm better at hiring because I failed at it.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, absolutely.
yeah, you,
And
you
you
know,
have to experience that in order to learn to be able to grow. Like it, just like they say when kids are growing up, they have the growing pains.
Mhm.
It's because they're growing, you know? It's the same thing with your business. You have to go through that.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you're not going to
yeah.
grow if that doesn't happen. So,
Yeah, and I would say don't be delusional. Like really be present
mhm.
in your business. If something's not working, don't ignore it,
Yeah.
right? Be proactive. Look at it for what it is. Look at your numbers. You have no
Mhm.
idea, Bella. I've worked with over 1,000 entrepreneurs. They don't know their numbers. They're
Okay.
flying by the seat of their pants. They don't know where anything is. They're just doing the thing, right?
Yeah.
And they're not paying attention to their business from a holistic standpoint. And so, again, everyone fails,
Mhm.
everyone deals with challenges, but it's an opportunity to learn and grow. But you have to be present and you have to look at it for what it is and figure out how you can shift, pivot, change in order to make it better. So,
Absolutely. 100%. I love it. And then, last question that I have for you is, um, as a woman-based entrepreneur and that's all that we work with at CEO Chicks. Have you ever felt the pressure to quote unquote lead like a man? And if so, how do you stay authentic while maintaining the diversity of having that woman-owned business?
that's good. We're in our soft girl era. Depending on your algorithm, you're either in the soft girl era, you're either in a I don't care, I'm going through menopause era.
Just trying
It
to
just
get through
depends,
life era.
girl. It just depends. So ultimately, I've been told I have masculine energy at times by people I work with, and I'm like, let's unpack that for a second, right? Let's really unpack the whole masculine, feminine, energy thing.
Mhm.
I don't subscribe to either of it. To be honest, I am who I am. Yes, I'm a woman, right? When I say I don't subscribe to it, meaning I don't want to be defined by my gender when it comes to business,
Oh,
right? Whether I handle something in what you consider a feminine manner or what this one considered masculine, because I'm starting to realize everyone's definition is different.
so different.
So me being direct, me being clear, me not speaking with a question mark, me speaking where meaning the end of my words when I speak, it doesn't sound like it's a question. I'm
Yeah.
making a statement, I'm making a command and demand, and this is how I like things done.
Mhm.
And because I say it that way, even with this tone, this is like my regular
Yeah.
tone. This is my tone when I'm upset. This is usually my tone when I'm happy, actually. Um, and so I've been accused of being masculine, and I said, why? Is it because I know what I want, or I'm clear, or what? Because I'm not getting in your face.
Yeah.
I'm not getting huffy or puffy about it. What makes you say that's masculine? Can we talk about that a little bit? And so again, I've been accused of both. I don't really talk. I don't care.
I love
I
it.
don't care.
Just do it. Just do the thing.
Yeah, I don't care because ultimately, whether feminine, masculine, what I care more about is respect.
I love that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Respect
I'm
and
gonna
boundaries,
always
so
respect you.
important.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm gonna always respect you if I don't agree with you.
Of
And what I
course.
realize is that people that lack emotional intelligence or people that lack that are more insecure tend to feel like they don't they can't take it. You know what I
100.
mean?
If they put like a defense up almost
Yeah,
in a
yeah, yeah.
way. Yeah.
They get very offensive, so it could almost feel whatever their life experience or their lens may be when I'm that straightforward and clear and direct because they're used to people that may be more, dance around topics and
Hmm.
really try to appease them and don't really, you know what I mean? They may be
Yeah.
used to that. So sometimes they don't know how to handle someone that is direct and clear.
Yeah, I love it. But you have to be that way being a business owner, you know what I mean? Like you have to be ready to take charge and because everybody that is working for you too is looking for you to take charge. So you have to be confident in what you're saying and executing.
How do you deal with
Um,
it? Are you pretty much the same way, or do you
yeah, I
feel
mean,
like you're really
I
more soft?
No, I am the same way, whether I'm talking right now to you, I'm talking on a business meeting, or I'm talking to my mom. Like I talk the same way across the board. Even people have actually said to me, like, what's up with your texting? Like it's like I don't use a lot of emojis. I don't use like an insane amount of exclamation points. And I'm like, I never thought about it because I'm like, I text you the same way I text my mother. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that there's like a deeper meaning about it. I'm just getting my point across and like getting done with it, I guess you could say. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't really think about it in the sense of like, I need to assert my power because I'm a woman, not a man. But also at the same time, I'm like, I do look up to my father who was in a multi-billion dollar company. And so I do take a lot of his energy, I think, with doing this. But I also get a lot from my mom when it comes down to like the soft girl era and bringing myself down to look at everything from everybody's lenses because you don't know what people got going
Yeah,
on like behind the scenes and stuff
yeah,
too. So it's
yeah,
kind of a balancing act of everything, I would say, to be
yeah,
honest. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I could see that. I could definitely see that. Very interesting
yeah,
topic. Very good question.
very, yeah. Well, with that, just to leave everybody off, do you have any last words of wisdom or anything that you wanted to just leave everybody with today?
No, sure. If anybody had a question that's in the live with
Yeah.
us, we have a couple minutes to answer a question. Let me see. Let's scroll. I see a couple familiar faces. I'm glad you were able to join. If you have one question for me or for Bella, what would it be? Again, you can join CEO Chicks. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Our ultimate goal is to give women the tools that they need to build a profitable turnkey business. Listen, your business is not your
Keywords.
baby. Your business, because you wouldn't sell your baby. Your business your business is a part of your legacy and succession plan.
Mhm.
And so
Yep.
that's what we talk about. That's what we teach this month coming up. We're doing how to master your digital marketing, I believe, right?
Yes.
Is this
Hmm.
month classes.
Yep.
And so
Hosted by
definitely.
me, so definitely pop on.
Yep, yep. So we have regular classes. Every week we're doing something with our community. First week we'll do prayer, pray for our businesses, our families, and all our staff, all the things. And then week 2 and 3 are classes for our members. And our
Mhm.
last week, my husband and I will do a Bible study. And so that's kind of our frequency. We got some
Yeah,
pop-ups that'll be coming up,
lots of good
all the great
stuff.
things. And so if there are no questions, my last thing I would say is to watch this replay and just really do inventory. Do an inventory on your life, do an inventory on just where you are in your business. Look at your numbers, know your numbers. Survey your team, survey if
Mhm.
and if it's just a team of two, survey whoever's helping you
Yeah.
with your business. If you're a startup, survey your audience that you currently have. I find, unfortunately, there are a lot of people that are in business that really just need to like shut it down. Like, and I know that sounds odd. It sounds odd for me to say that, but you really may need more mentorship. You may need more coaching. You may need to like, yeah, like work for someone else to truly understand what entrepreneurship demands because it's 24/7. It's
24/7.
24/7 and
It
it's
is
not
not for
just
that of the week.
yeah, and it's not just a focus, like I said, on the thing, on the transaction, on
Mhm.
there are so many
So many
CEOs that are
apps.
obsessed with the product that they have, but they forget the people they're supposed to sell it to, right? So
Mm.
you have a
Yeah.
product and you don't have an audience. Well, you have to build an audience.
Right.
But then there's people that have an audience and they don't have a product.
Hmm.
They don't know what the people's needs are. And so I just really would say to do an overall assessment of your business
Love that.
and be honest with yourself with where you
Yeah.
are, because if not you'll find yourself in a financial hole. And I've had to help so many women just come to the realization like, baby girl, this is not for you, and it's
Yeah.
okay. Don't let social media fool you. It is okay.
Yes.
And so let's see, Mrs. Bad Profit, with the good profit, let me just say that, with the positive profit, is how do you sign up for classes? There's a link in our bio. You join. We have a monthly fee or annual fee, and all that goes towards to our operational costs and putting funds aside for our grants that we do yearly. Last question. When is your next in-person event? Would love to attend. We are working on pop-ups right now as we speak
Yep.
for Atlanta, then South Florida, which will likely be like that Fort Lauderdale, Miami
Yep.
area, and Orlando. So look out
Hmm.
for that. We just had our annual in March. We do
Yep.
every Women's History Month, we do an event.
Yep.
So that's it for
All
now,
right.
ladies. Hope to see you inside. Thank you, Bella.
Yes. Thank you so much. I hope everybody has an amazing holiday weekend. Can't wait to see you on the classes. And if you guys ever need anything, you know where to find us. Bye.
Bye now.